Screw it. Here's why I'm pissed at Feldman. I mean, I'm not going to tell you the whole story. It's just he knew the whole time. I'm assuming I was in Lost Boys too. So I had to produce that emotion about a half hour later, which I produced in the office off camera. You know, I don't even think he knows there's a problem. Yeah, that's how messed up that boy is.
Corey Haim emerged as the quintessential teenage sensation of the 1980s, capturing hearts across America with his boyish charm and vulnerable screen presence. From his breakthrough performance in Lucas to his iconic role in The Lost Boys, Haim embodied the era's youth culture with an authenticity that resonated with millions of adolescent fans. His platinum blonde locks and piercing blue eyes became synonymous with a generation's romantic fantasies, establishing him as one of cinema's most beloved young performers. However, beneath the magazine covers and screaming fan bases existed a troubled young man navigating the treacherous waters of Hollywood stardom without adequate protection or guidance. Haim's ascent through the entertainment industry's ranks brought him into contact with established actors whose egos, insecurities, and predatory behaviors would leave lasting psychological scars. The competitive nature of securing coveted roles created animosity that extended far beyond professional disagreements into personal vendettas. These weren't simple artistic disputes between equals, but complex power struggles involving a vulnerable teenager struggling against seasoned performers who viewed him as either competition or opportunity. The toxic environment of the 1980s Hollywood, with its rampant substance abuse and exploitation, provided the backdrop for confrontations that would ultimately contribute to Haim's tragic downward spiral. His conflicts with 6 particular actors reveal the darker underbelly of an industry that consumed its youngest stars with ruthless efficiency. 6. Charlie Sheen. The 1986 film Lucas brought together a cast of rising young stars, but for 14-year-old Corey Haim, working alongside 21-year-old Charlie Sheen became a source of profound discomfort that would haunt him for years. Sheen's reputation for wild partying and reckless behavior preceded him onto the set, creating an atmosphere of tension whenever the 2 actors shared scenes. Haim frequently complained to friends about Sheen's inappropriate comments and unsettling behavior during filming breaks. Charlie treated the younger cast members like his personal entertainment, revealed an unnamed crew member to The National Enquirer. The age gap between them magnified every interaction, with Sheen's adult lifestyle clashing against Haim's still developing sense of professional boundaries. The situation deteriorated when Sheen allegedly made advances that left Haim feeling violated and confused about industry norms. Director David Seltzer reportedly had to intervene multiple times to separate the actors during particularly uncomfortable exchanges. Haim's mother, Judy, later expressed regret about not recognizing the warning signs of her son's distress during production. Years later, Haim would confide to close friends about feeling powerless against Sheen's predatory behavior, describing incidents that went far beyond typical on-set pranks or hazing. The experience contributed to Haim's growing distrust of older male co-stars and his increasing reliance on substances to cope with industry pressures. What happened on that set changed Corey forever, Feldman later revealed in interviews. He never felt safe around certain types of actors again, and Charlie represented everything toxic about Hollywood's treatment of young performers. 5. Kiefer Sutherland. The vampire epic The Lost Boys should have been Corey Haim's triumphant showcase, but Kiefer Sutherland's commanding presence as lead antagonist David created unexpected friction that extended beyond their characters' on-screen rivalry. Sutherland's intense preparation methods and domineering personality immediately established a pecking order that relegated Haim to secondary status despite his substantial role. Sutherland's approach to character development involved staying partially in David's menacing headspace between takes, which unnerved the younger cast members. Kiefer would maintain this predatory energy even during lunch breaks, recalled makeup artist V. Neal. His commitment to the vampire leader's intimidating persona made casual conversation nearly impossible for Haim, who thrived on collaborative camaraderie. The conflict escalated during action sequences where Sutherland's suggestions for blocking and choreography consistently overshadowed Haim's input. Director Joel Schumacher found himself mediating disputes over seemingly minor details that reflected deeper struggles for creative recognition. Sutherland's theatrical training gave him vocabulary and confidence that intimidated Haim's more intuitive performance style. Haim's frustration peaked when Sutherland received majority focus in promotional interviews and magazine features, despite the ensemble nature of the production. Corey felt like he was being erased from his own breakthrough film, observed publicist Nancy Seltzer. The experience taught Haim harsh lessons about Hollywood hierarchy and the ruthless competition for spotlight attention. 4. Jason Patric. Jason Patric's brooding intensity in The Lost Boys created an unexpected rivalry with Corey Haim that transformed their shared scenes into subtle battles for dramatic supremacy. Patric's serious method acting background clashed immediately with Haim's natural comedic instincts, establishing competing philosophies about performance that would define their antagonistic relationship throughout production. Where Haim brought spontaneous energy and improvisational flair to his scenes, Patric arrived with meticulously crafted character motivations that left little room for collaborative exploration. Jason treated every line reading like Shakespeare, observed sound mixer Mark Ulano. His theatrical precision made Haim's more relaxed approach appear unprofessional by comparison, creating self-doubt about his own abilities. The tension intensified during romantic scenes where both actors competed for the attention of female cast members, particularly Jamie Gertz. Patric's intellectual discussions about character psychology contrasted sharply with Haim's lighter conversation style, making the younger actor feel intellectually inadequate. Their different approaches to preparation became a source of constant comparison among crew members. Haim grew increasingly frustrated with Patric's tendency to offer unsolicited advice about scene interpretation and emotional authenticity. He acted like he was teaching acting class instead of just being a co-star, Haim later complained to friends. The condescending undertone of these interactions wounded Haim's already fragile confidence about his place within the ensemble cast. Critical reviews that praised Patric's mature performance while dismissing Haim's contribution as lightweight deepened the resentment. Haim began viewing Patric as representative of everything pretentious about serious actors who looked down on commercial entertainment, creating lasting bitterness about artistic hierarchies within Hollywood's young performer community. 3rd, River Phoenix. River Phoenix represented everything Corey Haim desperately wanted to become but could never achieve, a critically acclaimed young actor whose dramatic performances earned respect from industry veterans and film critics alike. Their parallel careers throughout the late 1980s created an unspoken competition that tormented Haim, who watched Phoenix accumulate prestigious projects while his own opportunities gradually diminished toward commercial fluff. Phoenix's Oscar nomination for Running on Empty at age 18 highlighted the stark contrast between their career trajectories. While Haim dominated teen magazines and fan conventions, Phoenix garnered serious consideration for major awards and art house productions. River was doing Gus Van Sant films while Corey was stuck in formulaic comedies, noted casting director Molly Finn, who worked with both actors during their peak years. The philosophical differences extended beyond professional choices into their approaches toward fame and public responsibility. Phoenix's environmental activism and political consciousness made Haim's party-focused lifestyle appear shallow and directionless. Industry events became uncomfortable encounters where Phoenix's intellectual conversations about craft and social issues left Haim feeling culturally inadequate and professionally marginalized. Haim's resentment deepened when Phoenix began receiving offers for roles that Haim's representatives had desperately pursued. Corey would obsess over River's career choices, revealed longtime friend and fellow actor Alyssa Milano. The comparison became particularly painful when Phoenix's drug experimentation remained hidden, while Haim's substance abuse became tabloid fodder. 2. Ralph Macchio. Ralph Macchio's wholesome image and strategic career management represented a constant reminder of Corey Haim's missed opportunities and declining professional prospects throughout the late 1980s. While both actors competed for similar romantic lead roles targeting teenage audiences, Macchio's Karate Kid franchise success established him as the more bankable star, leaving Haim to settle for secondary projects in supporting roles. The rivalry intensified at industry gatherings where Macchio's composed professionalism contrasted sharply with Haim's increasingly erratic behavior and substance-fueled outbursts. Ralph knew how to work a room and maintain relationships, observed talent agent Michael Ovitz. Haim's jealousy became obvious during award ceremonies and promotional events, where Macchio received preferential treatment from studio executives and entertainment journalists. Their competing agents deliberately fueled the animosity by positioning each actor as the superior choice for coveted teen heartthrob projects. Successfully transitioned into more mature roles while maintaining his teenage fan base loyalty. Corey watched Ralph navigate Hollywood politics with intelligence while his own career spiraled, noted entertainment reporter Gene Wolfe. The contrast highlighted Haim's lack of strategic thinking about long-term career sustainability versus immediate gratification. 1. Corey Feldman. The deterioration of Corey Haim's relationship with Corey Feldman represents Hollywood's most heartbreaking transformation of childhood friendship into bitter professional rivalry. Their inseparable bond during the height of Corey's mania gradually dissolved under the pressures of competing career trajectories, financial disputes, and mutual accusations that would define their tragic final years together. Feldman's emergence as the more business-savvy partner created resentment that festered beneath their public facade of brotherhood. While Haim struggled with addiction and declining opportunities, Feldman leveraged their shared brand into lucrative reality television deals and nostalgia tours. Corey felt like Feldman was profiting from his pain, revealed mutual friend and actor Jameson Newlander. Haim's final interviews revealed profound betrayal regarding Feldman's decision to publicly discuss their shared trauma and addiction struggles without consent. "He turned our friendship into a commodity," Haim complained to close confidants. The exploitation of their personal relationship for commercial gain represented the ultimate violation of their once sacred bond. The tragedy deepened when Feldman continued capitalizing on their shared legacy after Haim's death, using their friendship as promotional material for various projects. Haim's family expressed outrage over Feldman's post-mortem revelations, viewing them as final acts of betrayal against someone who could no longer defend himself or control his own narrative. These conflicts illuminate the devastating cost of child stardom and Hollywood's predatory nature. Haim's struggles reflect systemic failures protecting young performers from exploitation and competition. Subscribe for more tragic tales from entertainment's darkest chapters and forgotten victims.